Hello and welcome to week 2 of Introduction to Early Childhood Education. I hope that you enjoyed jumping right into the material last week, and I thoroughly enjoyed reading all of your introductions on the discussion board. I tried to personally respond to everyone to make sure to welcome you to the class, and I loved seeing the interaction that we're already starting to have, even though this is an online class. I'm a firm believer that community is absolutely vital to success. I think classrooms should be set up like communities. And so, even in an online classroom, I like to find a way for us to feel like we're interacting as though we were in a face to face class. So, thank you for posting your introductions and getting to know each other. So, this week we're going to jump into section 2 of your book, which is the who of early childhood education. And of course, the first group of people we're going to encounter are going to be the children, the people that we're going into the field for. So, the way this chapter is set up is the very first part of the chapter just gives you a basic overview of the different ages and what you would expect to see. As we know, each age is going to show us a bunch of different things. So it's important to know what we should be looking for with 1 year olds, 2 year olds, 3 year olds. And so that's what the beginning of the chapter does for you. The second part of the chapter deals with play. And play is one of the most important topics we can discuss in early childhood education. I am a firm believer that there is nothing that cannot be taught to children through play. But make sure that you are aware that what we're talking about is free play, not structured play. Free play is when we simply provide the materials to children and let them go. Structured play is when we not only provide them the materials, but tell them what they have to do with them. Think of it as the difference between PE and recess. When we were in school, during PE, we walked in and the teacher told us what we were going to be doing. At recess, we simply played with whatever was available. And that's what we want for children to be able to do. So it's important for us as teachers to know that the majority of the day should actually be spent in free play. And the teaching that goes on is when we're interacting with the children during play. Something interesting that the chapter focuses on with the topic of play are stages of play. And so you're going to see two different theorists, for lack of a better word, Mildred Parton and Sarah Smolansky, who have kind of given us two different stages of play. Parton talks about the different types of play, starting with solitary play and moving on to cooperative play at the very end. And basically what she's saying is as children are beginning to start to play, they normally start off playing by themselves. Eventually they work their way towards getting close to another group of children or another child, but not necessarily playing. And as they get more comfortable, you start to notice that finally you get to that stage where they're actually playing together with the same thing. Now, Smolansky actually talks about the functions of play, which is kind of interesting to see that there is functional play. And we also have play where children are simply pretending that things are other things. So, for instance, a pot holder could be a blanket for a baby. So I think that's kind of interesting to look at. So play is definitely a very vital topic, one we're going to come back to several times over the course of the semester. And so what I did for this week was I have a video that I wanted you to watch called Where Do the Children Play? And it really kind of is a sad video because it reminds us that a lot of children don't have the play that we had when we were younger. So that video is posted for you on Blackboard, and then I wanted you to respond to the discussion board question. I know that that was not on our course schedule. I didn't realize until I had already finished it that I had left that out. But hopefully you're not going to find that it's something that's going to take you a very long time. It's a short video, but an interesting video. And so all I'm asking you to do is just simply to reflect on it. Just as a reminder on how discussion boards are supposed to work, make sure that you not only post your response, but that you respond to at least 2 of your classmates as well. Remember, our classes run from Monday to Sunday at midnight, and discussion boards will close at midnight on Monday, making sure that I give you that grace day. But after that, you won't be able to respond to the discussion boards. Last week, as long as you actually participated in the discussion board, I gave you full credit. But from here going forward, unless it says differently, expect that you need to post your response and respond to at least 2 of your classmates. And then the final section of this chapter deals with inclusion, children with disabilities. Inclusion basically just means that our classrooms should be able to be set up to include every child in every activity. And so the last part of the chapter really kind of talks about what are some different disabilities children may have, how can we work with parents of children with disabilities, and to go along with that, you have your very first assignment for this class, which is called the Inclusion Project. And this actually was set up by VCU through a grant that actually ended about a year ago, but I thought that the assignment is really valuable, especially for this class, to get you thinking about what inclusion is, what it looks like, and how you can actually make sure that you have everything set up so that you do have an inclusive classroom. So on Blackboard, you're going to find everything that you need to do this assignment. There is a packet. The PDF file is actually the packet that we are given, but I also created a template for you to make it a little bit easier so that you knew exactly what you needed to do for this assignment. The packet is set up slightly confusing, and so I thought that creating a template might make things a little bit clearer for you. So there's really 2 parts to this particular inclusion project. The first one is watching 2 videos. The first video is called The Letter of the Law, and it really is just kind of the legal aspect of what inclusion means, what children who have disabilities are going to be entitled to. The second video is The Spirit of the Law. And so that really is just a different perspective on what parents think about how their children are included in the classroom. So what you need to do is watch each of those videos, and then the last part is actually saying which one you think is more important. Do you think the letter of the law is more important, or do you think the spirit of the law is more important? And if you look through the template, you'll see how you're supposed to set up that part of the assignment. I actually posted the direct links to the videos on Blackboard this week so that you can just go directly there. They are in the packet, but I thought it might be easier if you could just click to them through Blackboard. The second part of the assignment is actually reading an article and answering questions. The article is a part of the packet. It's the last few pages of the packet, so you have access to it. And there are 6 questions that you need to answer based on the article. So hopefully, looking at the template will kind of guide you as to what it is that you need to do for this. So this assignment is due next week, the end of week 3. And anytime that you're ready to submit an assignment, you can go to the assignment link in Blackboard. And anytime you see the clipboard with the pencil, that means that the assignment is available for you to submit. All you have to do is click on the title of the assignment, and that will take you to a screen where you can upload your attachment. Please upload attachments as opposed to putting things in the submission text box, because I can't respond in the submission text box. But when you actually submit a Word document file, I'm able to make comments through there. It's a lot easier for me to be able to grade it that way as well. So other than that, I think that takes care of week 2. I hope you enjoy the video on play, and I look forward to reading your reactions to it. And I hope you enjoy looking at the inclusion videos and really just starting to think, how can I set up my classroom so that I can be inclusive? What teaching strategies can I use to make sure that I am including all children? What materials do I need to have in my classroom? And remembering that every child is entitled to a great education. And so this is a good way to start thinking about how we can be inclusive in everything that we do. So have a great week, and I will see you next week.